Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I'm Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I'm a lecturer in the university. On this channel, I do a number of stuffs. Kindly go through the playlist on my channel to see the stuffs I do on this channel. Meanwhile, kindly click subscribe on your screen right now to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed previously. The topic today is very important, and I want us to listen to this very well, especially for husbands who are in the diaspora. That's why the title of this video is Husbands Abroad. Know this about the wives left behind in Africa. This is very important because a lot of women, a lot of wives are left behind in Africa, and the migrant husbands abroad, they are in their own world. Facing different challenges there. But even as you face challenges abroad as a migrant husband, you have to know that the situation is quite very problematic for many of the wives left behind in Africa. And many of them appears to just be helpless about this matter. Many people, many husbands left Africa with wrong visas, a lot of them with wrong expectations, a lot of them appear to have made something different from what they bargained for. But today, I want you to bear in mind that even as men struggle overseas, they have to pay close attention to the problematic situations many wives left behind in Africa face, or they find themselves in the course of this spousal migration. And this is based on my experience, the researches that we have done in this area, women, wives that are in Africa that we have engaged, that we are trying to counsel and mentor. So that's why I want to address men abroad who are husbands. Please bear in mind that you have left somebody at home. And many of these women, wives are in Africa are overworked. They play the role of the husbands at the same time the role of the wife. Many of them are overworked, too many household chores, no help. They train kids alone, They go to the mechanics. So many of the works that are not normally meant for women are the ones playing these roles, and many of them at the same time are having financial difficulties because they play too many roles. And many of the husbands abroad, many of them are not playing sufficient role, many because the husbands abroad themselves are facing financial challenges, and there are those that are not facing financial challenges, but they have simply forgotten about their responsibilities at home. And many African migrants abroad who are husbands are playing their roles financially. Yet there are other roles beyond money. Many of these women are overworked at home. They train the children alone. Even the children don't listen to them sufficiently because, women have their limit in training children. So this is very important. Many of them are also sex starved. If you communicate with them on the phone, can you send sex from abroad? Many of them are sex starved. And while some of them have been trying to cope, many have gone into infidelity. Don't deceive yourself. It's not about religion. Don't say my wife cannot do that. Can you DHL sperm? Can you DHL penis? Can you DHL sex? Many of them are sex starved, extremely sex starved. There are those who are beginning to follow young boys around. There are some of them who already have concubines. Many of them, and they don't care. How can you leave a woman for so long on her own? Many of the men abroad are already married. Some of them in secret, some of them openly, and they simply leave the women on their own in Africa. And you want the women to just remain in such manner. Some of these women will not remarry, but some of them will have other men sleeping around with them. And they are blacklisted, they are stigmatized, accused of sleeping around. And even many of these men abroad begin to accuse these women, helpless women in Africa, of infidelity. Many of them, anyway, even when the women are not sleeping around, they know the women must be sex starved. They have tasted sex before. So, and they begin to suspend it. Many of them are lonely, very lonely women. Many of them around here, many of them are anxious. How will this end? Will my husband come to pick me? Will my husband, anxiety, loneliness, trauma. Many of them are depressed. They look sick and worn out. Even those that are not worn out physically, they are worn out emotionally. And this is very serious. Many suffer abject neglect, serious neglect. Well, there are some people who are no longer missing you, if you like. They may still be pretending that they are missing you. Many of them have adapted in their mind. They are not missing you again, the husbands abroad. They have different coping mechanisms. Many of them, many of them have other men by the side that they are enjoying themselves with. And sometimes they even spend your money for those men. What do you do? What can you do about that? So many are not missing you again. You may be communicating, doing video chats. Can you have sex on the phone? Forget sex on the online sex. All those ones, they are just fake. You know, you may say you are calling, but the money is not enough. The calls are not enough. You know, and forget religion. My wife is religious, is a pastor, you know, she's very religious, she's Muslim, she's Christian, she's traditional religion, we have sworn oath. It's a lie. It doesn't matter. You know, be empathetic. You know, be coming home as regularly as possible. Men come home, some of husbands abroad come to Africa once a year. Some of them 3 times, just once in 3 years. You say, come, they say, flight is too expensive. My work, I have to go to work. What about the woman? And, you know, be coming and relocate the woman as early as possible. Another thing I will do video on later, there are also men who don't want to relocate the women abroad. They think if they come abroad, they become master. They become too conscientized. They can even begin to misbehave. There are categories of men who don't even want to relocate their wives abroad. And they'll be pretending as though they mean well to relocate them abroad. But it's a lie. So if you mean well for your wife, relocate her on time abroad. So it makes life easy for everybody. So it's very important that you count the cost of all of this. Emotional cost on the women that you left behind. You know, many of my African men just go abroad for many years. Leave the women, leave the children on their own. You know, many have wrong visas, you know, but you have to discuss the issues. Face the reality. The essence of this video is not to blame men abroad, but to sensitize you, to conscientize you that you have left somebody in Africa and problems abound for these women. And that may break the marriage to the extent that even when you now relocate the woman, she's already emotionally detached from you, you know, because of so long of being on our own. So African men abroad, husbands, know this, that there's a problem. A lot of these women are going through a lot. I see a lot of them. They are worn out. You wonder, you say your husband is abroad. They feel neglect. You see them easily attracted to other men who show concern. You know, and some men take advantage of these women for nothing, just because they have been neglected. So they are lonely. They are sex-starved. They are not happy. They are anxious. And you have to know this. Till I see you in my next video, kindly click subscribe. Bye for now.